are familiar with the movie The Purge, I honestly believe that we need an AV purge. We need an AV purge. Just, not everyone, obviously, not select people. It was like, and now that I'm no longer in the AV industry, I'll gladly take it upon myself to do the purging. Sure, I'll sacrifice my time for you guys. I'll do it.
So yeah,
My purge is the men. My purge is the men.
That's why I wanted it. Okay, I'll get me count. Exactly. But that's it.
No, you know what? I would love to see. I would love to see better representation of women in the AV industry. Also, specifically women of color. There just isn't, and also it's this lack of realization that it's even a career option, right? And I think that's where it
more
comes
technical
from.
roles as well, not
More
just
technical,
marketing.
exactly. More technical roles. Hey.
Hold here, and it's like I love the comments. I was like, yeah, I've been doing this, and I'm like, so have I. And I was like, and I'm grateful to not be as stupid as you. I was like, I'm sorry. And then for the ones that have generally been doing it longer than me, I'm like, I haven't been doing it as long as you. What does it say about you that you're mentally stuck in the exact same situation you were 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 years ago, however old you are? It's like, you're in the same boat. You haven't evolved. You haven't changed. You're in the same boat. It says a lot about you. I've changed a lot in the almost 30 years I've been in this industry. I've changed a lot. I was like, I've grown, I've adapted. It's like I started off as just an audio engineer and I've been able to do video and do other things. It's like, you're stuck. I was smart enough to know how stupid I was.
So many people, so many roles, so many companies make their own little Excel sheet for project management. Project management is actually one of the places where it actually kind of makes sense.
But you know what? As a project,
other things like quoting and inventory and all these.
But there's systems that exist
Right.
that does it for you.
Preach.
Do you know my favorite one though?
Preach.
Time is money.
Noreen.
I better be. This is what I told one of my sales guys. I'm like, you better be selling my time. My time is precious, and if I have to spend hours filling out an Excel sheet versus using a program that does it all for me,
That automates it. For
but
God's
you know
sake.
what? As a project manager,
It's easy to go with like standards that wind you up. You know what I mean? Like the in AV, we have a real tendency to let everybody have a go at something until they finally ends up. So you look at like video over IP at the moment, right? There's all a bit of a mishmash of whoever wants to do something, they end up with that. So we'll kind of let everybody have a play until they end up at a shared uniform thing. I think that's, it'd be great if there was a little bit more discussion. I think that's what winds me up.
Lack of standards, something we just talked about.
Yeah.
No standards, no nothing.
That's mine.
Basically HDMI.
I was just gonna say, I was like, are you thinking HDMI cables?
If we could purge that and go to what it was supposed to be, get that locking display port, I'd be so happy. Yeah.
I do love that one actually.
I'll be happy to see dinosaurs like me retire. I'm excited about the next generation coming. I've got kids in their mid-20s, man, and all this, millennials this, millennials that. It's always a bit of a joke. It's like every generation slags off the one coming up behind them. They don't work as hard. And Bullshit. Bullshit. I'm super stoked about the next generation.
I'm still
coming
technically
through.
a millennial. I'm one of the older millennials.
That's a stretch.
I am by about 6 months.
So we just need to retire, Jase, me and you, mate.
I'm not ready yet.
No.
That's part of the problem. Let's have a go. Mine's boring. The race to the bottom.
What, price-wise, margin-wise?
Yeah, everyone's willing to do that. I'd blow up their office.
Same.
Not pissing
Okay.
you off, because
Same
things, you need to have things that piss you off.
Yeah, you do. You do.
But
Absolutely.
there's got to be one over and above everything else that you think could make it better for everyone.
Liars.
Ooh.
Lying. Absolute stupid lying.
Yep.
Bastards. And this industry is full
I
of
thought
them.
you were going to say something else.
Which
But
one?
Richard's here.
That was the other one. I'll come on to that one.
He's got a list. Everyone.
So,
Not curious at all.
and this is for the whole of AV, and this is it kind of leads into every other topic. There are so much shit that comes out of this industry, from manufacturers all the way to integrators. we leave the end users out of it because normally they're just the brunt of all our shit. But from the rest of us, it's either products being manufactured and being sold too soon, and the marketing doesn't stack up, the product doesn't stack up.
That's what I thought you were going to say.
Yeah, so it's all just bullshit paint by numbers on a piece of tin that actually doesn't deliver.
Yep.
Distributors could be just as bad because they're all just...
The mouthpiece for the manufacturer. You're like, I'm going to spread that message.
Exactly, and they're targeted differently by different manufacturers to sell whatever. And a lot of integrators out there sell what you can as quick as you can, get in, get out. And the poor end user is always fucking sat there picking up the pieces. And then as an industry, we moan, well, they've gone and done it themselves. Do you realise fucking why? You've done nothing but treated everything else like a clusterfuck.
And honestly, the biggest issue that I see and hear about is the people. If I can change one thing, I would change the people. You think about this. The people are the ones talking about this needs to change, that needs to change. And some of these people are in positions of power to affect change, yet there's been no change. And you have to wonder why, because maybe you really don't want to change. The status quo is good enough for you. And quite frankly, it's the people.
Processing. What was the actual question? What would you purge? Oh, right.
Would you purge
And now that I picture it,
I honestly, the next time I hear